I think we are live. Let me check. Yeah, we are live. So, hello guys. Thanks for joining. This is Harsh from GDG Rachi. So, today we have a very special guest with us. She will be speaking mostly on the girls, the opportunities available for women out there. So, yeah, let's bring Taiba on stage. Hey, hi, hello Taiba. How are you?
Hi Harsh. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me for this talk.
Mm,
And
mhm.
actually, I want to thank GTG Raji for making me, giving this opportunity to share my experience and tell everyone about the opportunities that are available for women.
Yeah, we are uh, really excited to hear you hear from you about the opportunities. So, shall we begin, or let's wait for a few minutes so that our viewers can join?
I think we should wait
Till
for the next 2-3 minutes.
yeah.
Then we start.
Till then, I would request all my audience to go and register for DevFest. I'm posting the link to register for DevFest and do select your associated community as GDG Rachi. So the link to register is in the chat section. Yeah, so just go and register it. So we will be starting in few minutes.
Please
So
do register
unfortunate,
for DevFest.
yeah,
Don't forget.
and unfortunately this year we are going online, but yeah, no issues. So I think we are good to go. Taiba, you can begin. Okay, shall I
Okay.
add your screen to the mainstream?
Just a minute. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so here
So
you
I
go.
would Sorry, Harsh, I'd request you like if there's any question, so you just please tell me about it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll be taking the question at the end of this session. So till then, our viewers can post their queries or question in the chat section. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah,
so are we good to start?
yeah. Please go on.
Okay. So hi everyone. Hope you are having great day and you are enjoying your work from home if you are in the corporate world and even if you are a student. So first of all, I would like to thank GDG Raji for inviting me for this talk. So let's just begin. So, as you know, I'm Taiba Wasim and I am currently working at EY and I'm a WTM ambassador and I've been a former GSOC and Outreachy intern. So, most of us are pretty much, unaware of all the opportunities that are available and specifically opportunities that are available for women in technology. So, here I am and I'm going to tell you some opportunities that are specific to women so we can just dwell on that. So first is Google Summer of Code. It's not a specific to women opportunity, but everyone can apply for that. And you can see that there's Outreachy, then Raise Girls Summer of Code, Google Women Tech Maker Scholarship, and Grace Hopper Scholarship. So I would be giving you more information about all these opportunities, so you can have a good start. Because as you all know that through Google we can actually search about anything, right? But you need the right approach and the right mindset to actually crack a particular scholarship or a particular program. So let's just first begin with Google Summer of Code. So I would share the timeline of Google Summer of Code with you. Just a minute. So I think it's visible, right? Harsh, hello.
Yeah, Taiwa, you can go on. It's
Okay.
visible.
So I as all of you can see, there's Google Summer of Code 2020 timeline in front of me. So you can see the mentoring organization and the program is announced around this by the end of December. And then I will just quickly point out to how you begin your application for Google Summer of Code. So first, if you are a newbie and you don't know nothing about Google Summer of Code, let me just tell you that Google Summer of Code is a program that is sponsored by Google, and it gives opportunities to people, to students to actually participate and contribute in open source projects. So when the first and foremost step, so we just have to first think how to crack Google Summer of Code if you are an aspirant for that. So first is how you choose an organization. So Google has this archive section. Google Summer of Code has this archive section where you can search the organization either through your interest, by your interest, like there are web technologies projects, then there's UI UX projects, so on and so forth. And then from there you can streamline your projects, or either you can sort it out through the programming language. Like if you're very good at Python and you want to do a good project in Python and want to apply for GSOC in Python, in any project that involves Python, then you have to go to the Google Summer of Code archive and then search for the respective organization. So there's a common question that how many organization one should actually apply for Google Summer of Code. So according to Google, you can prefer, like at most you can apply for three organizations as it is. But then from my perspective, at most you should just apply to two, because you have to put in the efforts and the required strategy to crack it. So once you choose an organization, so I completed my Google Summer of Code in 2017 with Sugar Labs, and my project was music blocks. So I had to make a Timber widget for music blocks, and that involved programming languages like JavaScript and Python. So, first, if you're a totally newbie and you don't have any idea about open source contribution, then it will be very overwhelming for you to do that. So, once you zero down on any organization, like initially I zeroed down on Mozilla and Sugar Labs. So, I was very overwhelmed as to how to go about it. So once I just went to their GitHub page or the project that I was interested in, and then for example I was interested in music blogs. So I went to their organization on their GitHub page, and then I saw that there were a lot of errors or bugs, or what is the first time issues that were typically for the beginners. So you have to actually search for the first time issues and then work on them and contribute towards that. One more thing that many people think, like, okay, you have to actually fix a very big bug to crack Google Summer of Code. But then every organization have a different mindset towards selecting their participants. In my organization, it was more about how you communicate with them and how dedicated you are towards completing your given task. So after that, once you have zeroed down upon your organization, your first step would be to contact the mentors or the people who are very much active in that organization. And it's actually okay if you tell them that I want to, go for Google Summer of Code, and I just want to explore this project, and I have that intention that I want to crack Google Summer Code or Outreachy or RGSOC or whatever it is. Actually, they kind of even appreciate that you are very clear with your objective. So once you are done with that, you ask them about what type of like bugs you can fix or what type of help they need. So first you have to create a rapport with them, and that you can do either by by solving their bugs, by solving their issues, or and at the same time interacting with them. So I had a very good communication with my mentors, and they actually helped me and pointed out to me that where you can find the respective code to solve these bugs and so on and so forth. Because the data is humongous, like it's actually very overwhelming. You will see a lot of files, folders you have got no idea with if you're not contributing into that organization beforehand. So according to me, your first thing should be like to have a good communication, and at the same time solving at least beginner level bugs, so that you you can actually prove to them that you are like dedicated enough and would be dedicated enough for the next 3 months to contribute and be a valuable asset to their organization. So this is how you actually plan out your contribution period, and by with the passage of time, you will realize that what type of efforts they want from your side. So as you can see, we in the timeline there is this community after this contribution period there is student application period. So for me, what I think that for Google Summer of Code, final proposal is very important. It's like one of the more, because the number of applications are like a lot and you have to stand out. So there are like three ways you have to use to stand out from the pool of applicants. First is communication, second is your bug solving and your in your actually comfort level with the code base, and third is your proposal. So all organizations have a different point of view as to how to they would perceive the proposal. So your first thing, your proposal should be very much to the point. It should not include things which you are not, which you won't be deliver, which you won't be able to deliver in like 3 months. So you should always be very much strict to what you would be completing and what you would be delivering. Your deliverables should be like totally fixed. That okay, I'm damn sure that I would be able to give this in this 3 months of time. So yeah, and in like my organization, my mentors were very much, they actually knew me a lot very well, so they just told me like you just plan it out with us and then we can, that actually they helped me with the proposal as well. Okay, that what things should be there to get a really good proposal. So in many organizations a lot of weightage is given to the proposal timeline as well as your deliverables. So and also your communication, which is very important because since it's a remote program, so your networking skills are very important because at least the mentor should have that trust on you that you would be available at least 40 hours a week, which is necessary. So on your proposal, for example, like I worked on Timber blog, like Timber widget for music blog. So my proposal included each and every detail, like from this to this. Your timeline should be perfect. Like from this to this, you would be completing this feature, and it's completely okay if you discuss it with your mentor. He or she was 99% would be like more than ready to help. So in that case, I would request like if you had any have any problem in future regarding this application filling, to please ping me or something or on LinkedIn or mail. So I would help you better in that way. So after that, the student projects are announced, and then the students are selected, and then there is this community bonding period in which you interact with your respective mentors for that particular project, and then you read the documentations about it, and you all do all the groundwork, and then from June 1, as stated there, the coding officially begins. So this is what this was like Google Summer of Code in nutshell, and I think I have given the link to Harsh to put it on the comment section for Google Summer of Code so that you can have a deeper view on that. So next we begin with Outreachy. So, Outreachy is specifically to women and trans and cisgender and all those people who feel that they have been racially or they have been discriminated in a sense. So, Outreachy works on similar lines as that of GSOC, but then there is a problem with this. There's a different. There are different guidelines with respect to eligibility and the schedule. So the eligibility is the same as Google Summer of Code, except it is specific to women and trans and cisgender. You can see it on their website. And one thing that most of the people have asked me about is that when to apply for Outreach, because since India lies in the northern hemisphere, we can only apply for mid-year internships, not for end-of-year internships. Especially for women of first to third year, they can only apply for mid-year internships because they need 3 months dedication for that, and that is only possible if our internship starts in the month of May and ends in the month of August. So, but for the fourth year people, end of year internships is applicable. They can also take the end of year internships, but it is only applicable for fourth year students. So, in the outreachy thing, the contribution period is as such that mandatorily you have to actually make one open source a contribution to a project. Like you cannot actually write a proposal if you have not made even a single contribution to your respective project. So for outreachy, that is one thing you need to keep in mind, and you get a really good stipend of $5,500. So that's really great. And one more thing, that all those people who get selected for GSOC and already have been selected for GSOC cannot apply for Outreachy. And if you have applied for both, like I applied for both Outreachy as GSOC, so you get the stipend of GSOC in that case. And I got selected in both at the same time. So I had to switch to GSOC. Though I got all the things of Outreachy as well, but then it is already converted to GSOC. So yeah, so in Outreachy, your application and mostly your communication is very important in Outreachy. That's what I feel, that in Outreachy communication is also very important, and your application, again, the same procedure which you follow for Google Summer of Code. And one more thing is the main criteria on which an organization basically is able to filter out is upon the number of applicants. So you have to do some your decision making, that okay, if there are the number of applicants are a lot, then you have to actually work on more aspects rather than, if the application pool is small, then you can actually directly talk it out with your mentor. So moving on, there's also RGSOC, that is Rail Girl Summer of Code, and it also works on the criteria of on the base on similar lines with that of GSOC and Outreachy, and its internship period is between July to September. So if you have any questions, please post it so that we can take it in the Q&A later on. So these were, according to me, the three main internships which can actually like ace your, resume and your CV in future, and actually can give you a lot of networking opportunities. One thing that I learned from open source is that you get to, network a lot with people and have made so many connections to open source. So that, and you actually learn how to, work with heavy code bases, and that's not easy. I still remember, like on my first day when I was just starting out with Sugar Labs, I literally had those anxiety pangs, like okay, itna, like how can I just lead so much of code, but then as you dwell into it, it becomes easy. So just don't be scared when you just see okay 200 files and you're getting no idea how to start and where to start. You just talk it out with your mentor and all those people who are active in that community. So now we move on to some scholarships which are worth mentioning. So first is Google Women Tech Makers. So it was previously known as Anita Box Memorial Scholarship Program, and it is for the first, second, and third year students, women students specifically. So yeah, so in this you have to the Google provides you with an academic scholarship for your studies, and if and for equipments, like for study, basically all for your study material and all related to your academics. And then you also get to go for the Google retreat, which is like awesome. And you also get to be a part of a very good community. And even in Grace Hopper Celebration Scholarship, you get to attend the Grace Hopper celebration. That's like the best, like one of the best college like celebration, where you can actually have a lot. You get a lot of opportunities to make your network, to get a great job, and actually the best thing is that you get to learn a lot, which at our age is very important, since most of us are just running after things and don't know why we are actually doing it. So it's actually, it gives you a sense of accomplishment if when you talk to people who are like doing really great in those fields. So in both of these scholarships, like specifically if I talk about Google WTM, So in that, the main focus relies upon your academic record, how you stand out as a leader in your community or in your day-to-day life, what changes you have made in your in your surroundings through your tech skills, and you have to be obviously a actually need to have a degree in computer science or other related fields, and there are a set of questions for which you need to write essays. So questions range every year. I think the question sets are different. So, but they generally revolve around how you impact the surroundings as a woman, as a leader in technology, and what else you have done. So all these essays need a good review. So that will happen mostly when you actually go through that process. So it's a good Google Women Tech Maker Scholarship is applicable for first, second, and third year women students, and Grace Hopper Celebration Scholarship is for the graduates and the undergraduates, basically, and all those who are in the study fields. So the links would be provided for the scholarship, like for the Google WTM and Grace Hopper Celebration Scholarship in the comment section. So yeah. So this was all about all the scholarships and the opportunities that are available for women in technology, and there are a lot more. But these were like the main scholarships and programs that I would like wanted to point out in this span of time. But there is one key element that can set you like really apart. That is your self promotion and your networking and personal branding. So self promotion is a part of personal branding. So I'm remarkable facilitator, and it has been statistically pointed out that 90% of women do not apply for a job just because they don't fit all 100% requirements of the job portfolio. That's all because they don't feel that they are confident enough to do that, but they should know that they are efficient enough to do that. So what I felt that a lot of women here, like all the students that might be watching this session, might have been doing great and they have a really good skill set, but they are not able to what you say, self promote themselves. And it's not a and some people say that okay, okay, fine, you have all these things in your arsenal, like okay, this, but you are bragging. But then it's not bragging if those are facts. So what I personally think that personal branding is very important, be it any field. If you have a good good what you say tools to brand yourself in a very good way, and your networking skills are very good, then even if maybe in that particular job for a field you don't have that much information at that point of time, but if you have good communication and good networking and you have the will to learn, then you are definitely would be in for that job. So, as most of us are like staying home, like all, I think all of us are staying home. So there are some ways we can do increase our networking. That is first attend online events, workshop. Then events build connection, because obviously they build connection. Like all those people who might be watching this would be able to connect with a lot of people, and lot of you just create a chain and then you network, and that's necessary. Then you can obviously have a multi-channel approach. That is, first of all, update your LinkedIn. Like I guess most of you would be in third or fourth year, and it's good if you start working on your LinkedIn profile, because it helps to build you kind of your profile, and as well as you get to know what's the market scene, like which technologies are in vogue, and what will actually add to your skill set. So gaining new skills in lockdown, I hope most of you are not wasting your time like unnecessarily. And it's not necessary that you have gaining skills means only technical skills. There are many soft skills which will help you a lot in future. And you're in anything, like even if you are going to give a tech conference in future, you need soft skills like good communication skills, good articulation skills. So that is very important. And if you're in third and fourth year, then obviously try for an internship, because once you apply your knowledge, then it's beneficial, because just reading and just going through geeks for geeks or Just gaining just raw knowledge is not helpful until you practice it out. So these are some key pointers that you should be doing on a regular basis, be it like whether you are a student or whether you are in corporate as well. Maybe some of them won't apply to them, but yeah, you should. First thing is never stop learning. Don't just think, okay, this is not my field, this will never help me. But you never know. Like I never had any idea that I would be getting into data, but then yeah, as time progresses, things might change, and you should always have your learning curve just constantly growing. There actually should be exponentially growing, not constantly growing. So you, and secondly, you should always keep yourself up to date with your technology, because technology is forever evolving. It won't stop. Today, okay, some technology is in vogue. Tomorrow, maybe something else would be in fashion. So you always have to keep yourself updated, because if you don't, then you would just rot there. So third, like open source contributions. So why one should do open source apart from getting into GSOC or any kind of achievements, is that you really get to know how to deal with large code bases. Like initial, because even if you go to any company which is like well established and have been into technology from a lot of time, then obviously their data, their code bases would be complex. So once if you see them, you will feel like very overwhelmed. Okay, oh my God, this is just so much to take in. So open source contributions give you a pathway as to how to actually work on those code snippets and so on and so forth. Then fourth, you can always participate in Hack Oktoberfest, and just break the barrier of just putting in one read me trial error stuff. Like more than you can obviously fix a lot of bugs rather than read me edits to get the Hack Oktoberfest rewards. Then you can always, and yeah, contribute to Stack Overflow. Okay, so Stack Overflow is like one thing which is a savior for all people who are into technology. So if you start contributing to Stack Overflow, and then if you get a really good points for that, like points as in profile, then you're like good to go in your career in like technology. So that was what I wanted to give out from my side. And if you have any questions, you can just post it down in the comment section, because there are things which I wouldn't have dwelled into much because of the time limit, but I would really like to help you out. So if there are any questions, please just ask. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Taiva. That was a really great session. So yeah, we'll be taking the question for next 5 minutes. So guys, if you have any queries, just post it, or you can also reach out to Taiba on our social media platforms.
So you can reach me
Yeah,
out
so you
there.
can, yeah, you can ping on LinkedIn profile, or just mail her.
Just tell me like what query you have and you attended this session. It would be easier for me to answer your queries. Because as you see that the GSOC and Outreachy timeline are just the next, like in the next May, August, like after a year, I guess. So at that time, it will be really helpful. So if you have any questions regarding how to begin, or is it when is the right time to begin, you can just ask me. And if no, then just let me know whenever you just feel like you can
Okay,
always,
there is a
yeah.
question from Mayank. He's asking for any scholarship opportunities for boys. So,
Okay, so yeah, you can
please go
speak
on.
if you want, Harsh.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, please go on, Taiba.
So there are not anything specific for, like in my knowledge at least, specific for boys, like scholarship specific for boys. So I think there's a lot of what do you say, a problem like, okay, ki why are girls getting the opportunities and so on and so forth. But that's because statistically the diversity is like, there's no diversity in many of the tech organizations. So that's why these of course scholarships are there to enhance that, just in case if you feel bad about it at times, because many of my friends do. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Harsh,
So
there is no as
and
such
one,
opportunity,
yeah, I
like
guess there is
only
no
selective for
because
boys.
yeah, because there is specific scholarship and these programs for girls, because just for like statistically, just you said that the girls don't get such opportunities or they don't have that much of exposure. But yeah, somehow the boys have those benefits. So yeah, I think don't think that there is any such scholarship just for the boys. Or if you want to try, just Google it. The next question is from Karthik. Hey Karthik.
Hi
uh,
Karthik.
yeah. So here's the question: how GSOC helped you in your career?
So, first, when I completed GSOC, I was in third year, right? So after that, and initially I just mentioned that it helps you a lot to deal with, complex code bases. So first thing is that, and okay, the primary thing is, you maybe like one, why do one get attracted to GSOC is, first of all, it is sponsored by Google. Then you get into a lot of open, you make a lot of open source contributions. You get a really good stipend for that. You get a lot of recognition because it's not easy to crack, right? Because the pool of applicants is like a lot. Then post that, like the entire tenure of GSOC, it helped me first, really getting myself comfortable with large code bases first. Second, to create a good network, which would be definitely help you in your job opportunities in future, because there are so many experts in that domain, like in whichever domain you are working, and they will obviously give you a referral if it is needed, or good reco in if it is needed in the future. So I got some, so that was like really nice to my, it actually enhances your resume a lot. Then third is, you get to you get to attend a lot of conferences as well. Like for example, if you're part of an organization like Mozilla or like some big organization, so they get to they actually onboard you on a lot of conferences. So that is one more thing. Then fourth is, like, if you are taking placements from college, so when the recruiter sees your resume, then that actually stands you out. So GSOC would help you, to stand out from your, your competitors or your colleagues, or your other friends. Like all those people are sitting for for that particular job, and all in all, it just kind of makes you, kind of makes you like very much professional as well, like how to go about it, and gives. I think that in that way it helped me a lot. And
Yeah.
I think for everyone, it's a very good, like a very valuable addition to your resume. Because if I am a recruiter and I'm watching your, I am just skimming through your resume, and if I see GSOC and I know about it, at least I would be pretty much sure that at least you are a dedicated person, and and you are, um, good with handling, working with good, like large code bases. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's from my side.
Okay. So we have one more question from Karthik. So here's the question: how to initiate personal branding?
Okay, so in which year he is in?
I guess Karthik is in fourth year, as I know him.
Okay, okay. So, like, okay, for example, if you are into data science, right? So you know some stuff about it, right? But you have to, actually tell it out to, I mean, showcase it either in a resume, or, in whatever, platform you are using to showcase your skills. So I think for data science, you have like a really good Kaggle profile or for like or a GitHub profile. So those things matter. So personal branding is like how you portray whatever you know on on a good platform. So first, if you do it on LinkedIn, which is like necessary and very vital for that, for your jobs and everything in future. So for LinkedIn, first is have a good about section, then make sure that like all your experience is well documented. Like for example, if you have been a GSOC intern, then you should obviously write like I am GSOC like GSOC intern, your organization, and then to acknowledge that the certificate provided with it. Like it is very necessary that whatever you do, and if you have a certification for that, upload it right there, right, so that you always have that acknowledgement with that. Then on LinkedIn, your about should be totally complete. Have a good professional, display picture. Don't put, stuff which does make you like totally unprofessional. And then your cover picture should be like really neat and decent enough. Like decent as in like it should be professional because it's your profession. That's like a professional portfolio. Then all your courses which you have taken, like everything should be filled, but it shouldn't be too verbose. Like it should be to the point, right? Because LinkedIn profile is just for that. Like your resume would do the other things and your CV, right? And second thing, first thing is LinkedIn. Second is your the platforms like for Git, like if you are an open source contributor, like your GitHub profile should always be up to date. Or if you are like a data scientist, so you would obviously have a good like Kaggle profile, so you that should be up to date. And you should never actually hesitate from showcasing your work. Like if you have done good work, you should never think, okay, this is not worth it. Don't like criticize yourself again and again until you are not sure okay, why you're not just doing it. So if you have a good Kaggle profile, just put it on your resume or your LinkedIn. Okay, just watch it out. Then third is have a web, like your own website or web page, because that is necessary, which showcases all your projects, your work, or maybe if you are a freelancer, suppose like if you do like small gigs or something of that. So then even you should have a dedicated section for that. Like whatever you have done, it should be mentioned, and it should be in a very crisp manner. So I think personal branding involves a lot of self promotion. Does not mean you are bragging about yourself. It's about just stating the fans, okay, I am this person, I've done this, and I'm really eligible for the job that I'm applying to. So yeah.
Okay, there is one more question from Bharti Verma.
I
Okay,
I thought
she's asking, is there any internship program for pass out students? Okay.
for graduates, like, okay, so for the graduates, as far as I know, if you are doing another degree, then you are eligible. Otherwise, you don't have any sort of dedicated internships like like Google Summer of Code or like Outreachy. These are only for college going students. And if you are into, and yeah, if someone is interested in technical writing, they can go for Google Summer of Documentation. I think it's Google Summer of Documentations, I guess. So it's open to all. Like it does not have any criteria on the basis of being an undergrad or something. And Grace Hall, Google WTM scholarship is only for second and third year students, and Grace Hopper scholarship if you are having if you are doing a PhD, or you are doing taking a second degree, or you are even if you are going and you are just an undergrad, you can apply for that. But as far as I know, there are no dedicated programs as such for pass outs. Maybe company specific, there are a couple of them. Like I think Adobe has one, but I'm not sure whether how many companies have what. It's actually specific to the company people only then.
Yeah. Thanks, Taiba. I think that was the last question. We don't have any more questions.
Okay.
So thank you guys for joining. We will have next session by Shahbaz Alam. So you will find the link on the channel GDG Ranchi YouTube channel. Okay. So Taiba, let's wrap up then.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, everyone, for all those who joined, and for all those who have not joined, and will see it later on. So thanks a lot. And if you have any question, any queries, just connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can even mail me on tyberwasim@gmail.com. So just feel free to ask me about anything regarding whatever has been told. So thanks a
Yeah.
lot, everyone, and thanks, UTG Rachi. Thanks, Harsh.
Yeah. Thanks, Taiba, for such great session. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Let's meet you in the next section by Shahbaz Alam. Okay. So yeah.
Okay.